Unfortunately, I'm gonna be the hater on this card. I honestly, I do hate cards like these.
80% of the people were playing the same freaking deck. All right, whatever.
Welcome to WWB Worldwide Broadcast. What's up, guys? We're back, episode 26. We've been doing this for half a year, Billy. It's pretty crazy.
Gang.
There's been a lot of change in Ward. A lot of different things happened since we've started doing WWB, and I thought maybe it would be a good time. Oh, also we have Casey. He's returning. He's back with us. Casey is like he's like our amazing guest. I know. I almost left him out of the picture.
By the way,
welcome back, Casey.
At this point.
Yeah, Casey, you're kind of becoming one of the WWB crew at this moment, but. Either way, I thought we could take this moment since, like I said, a lot of people have started watching, not since the very beginning, Billy, and they don't really know, like, our roots and, like, exactly how, we kind of started this whole thing. I want to talk about you, Billy, though, first. So, Billy, in my opinion, I think it would be funny if we kind of give each other our insight of how we started. Billy, what do you think, since we're so close, But Billy...
Man.
Billy is the man of the people. If you haven't noticed in the Discord, Billy is he likes to help everybody out. He's always has everybody's back. He always likes to tell me that I'm an awful mean dictator that tries to force everybody to...
don't do awful mean dictator things.
Whoa,
it's not that hard.
This is my turn to talk, Billy. You'll get your turn to talk. Okay. And so anyway, he's been here since, the first season of Ward. I mean, you can kind of say like the beginning, I guess, pretty close to the beginning, right, Billy? So it's like he has quite a bit of knowledge. I like to joke that Billy's kind of like the old man on the podcast. He's kind of always telling us about the good old days before Gen 2 and everything started, when me and Tyler got into it. But yeah, I also find that I'm kind of like feels like the antagonist sometimes with how people get pretty upset about my bird deck with the Elkanos. But maybe Billy, here, give me my intro. What would you tell people if if they wanted to know who I was?
Like how you got started, or just like who?
Yeah,
what your
just
intro
go how I
is?
got started and give them a picture of what it's like to be the Harry D.
Yeah, okay, yeah, sure. The big scary mean dictator who lets his birds do his bidding. Refuses to elaborate. No. Harry is actually a really nice guy. Jumped
Billy,
in.
Wait! Don't ruin my thing. I need to be the bad guy.
No.
They need to
Yeah, you are a bad
inspire.
guy.
They need to inspire to beat the guy who has it all. Come on, Billy. I'm like Seto Kaiba. I'm over here ripping Blue Eyes, White Dragons and stuff.
This is my time to talk. Your time to shut up. So I'm gonna keep going.
All right, Billy, keep going.
Like I said, actually kind of a nice guy when he's not interrupting me. Jumped in almost a year ago today with TeamCon, now ExcaliburCon, and just kind of dove head first. My first experience of Harry D was Curious Crow tournament. I think it was the first Gen 2 tournament they did. And he lost miserably, as he should have, but he had a lot of cool ideas and gave me some inspiration from later decks.
Wow.
And he's really welcoming for the community. I'm trying to encourage lots of people to grow Ward and everything. So, but he plays a pretty terrible deck, pretty terrible pigeons. No one likes it.
Am I not like the antagonist? Like, if everybody wants to be like the hero, Billy, am I not the one you want everyone to beat? Come on, I kind of have it. I made people hate the birds.
You're not a very good villain.
Billy didn't explain this. I really wanted everyone to embrace the birds, and I wanted everyone to become an Elkanos player. And everyone said, you know what, Harry? We don't want you to ever enjoy Elkanos again. We are going to find ways to beat those birds. And it's not just one person, everybody. So you know what? Now I am the villain, Billy. I'm putting on. I got the villain hood. It's going on. I'm on my dark era. So, but either way, Casey, now that we both given intros, now you get to pick which one of us you want to give your intro of how you started in War.
Yeah, who?
How did I start? Oh, I guess, well, unbeknownst to Erie, kinda, he was almost there the day I started Ward, really.
Yeah, we were playing
Went down to,
at the same card
yeah,
shop, but you
yeah,
weren't
went
playing
down to
Ward.
my, yeah, went down to my local card shop to play some Magic, and there was a Ward tournament going on. Erie was there, but I didn't even notice him. Never even knew he was there. Uh,
It's hard to
till like
say that when
whatever.
I'm the loudest guy in the room usually.
Yeah, I didn't even know you were there till like probably a month later when I uh, ran into or started playing or getting into the Ward tournament stuff. So yeah, I mean, I went down to my local shop. That was going on. Went back a few days later, asked the shop owner, what this card game was, and just started buying tons and tons of cards from there. So
And the rest is
Didn't
history. And
didn't
now he
Scott
now
play a
I
game?
yeah
now he's got all the he. I would say he's probably one of our bigger collectors in Ward, and you're definitely shaping out your
One,
collection quite a bit there. You know, you got the
one.
450. The
yeah. I
fine,
was gonna
it's
say
fine. I'll give you the. I'm about to go crazy with the title. Yeah, you are the biggest collector, the epic whale, as some might say. He's quite a rare
yeah.
species in our community right now. Just give it
Yeah, it's
time, give it
true.
time.
It's true. Yeah, people catch up to me eventually. Probably. I don't know.
Yeah, well, I think it's good. Like I said, we really haven't since the beginning. Like me and Billy, at least, like when we started WWB, really like given an introduction of like who we are or whatnot. So I think it is kind of good to, with all these new people that are joining and watching and stuff. And you know, as we grow, it's like people kind of, it's good to tell the origin story, you know, and kind of where we all started at in Ward. Helps everyone connect. But yeah, I like I said, I think I'm excited. It feels like it hasn't really been that much time. I mean, Billy, just to get back to like how long we've been doing this, and just right, it feels like we were just talking about like the first couple tournaments we were getting into. It was just Gen 2 only still, and all of a sudden now we're kind of at this point. So you know, it's been pretty fun.
It do be.
Heck yeah. Well, anyway, with that, we do have the summer league going on. Let's not forget that. And Billy loves to promote it, and so do I. So, WWB Summer League Week 7. Casey, have you played your game?
I have not yet.
Okay. Billy, have you played your game?
I have not yet.
Ooh, what? Okay, well then, how are you guys feeling about your deck since you know Billy threw on this new format of what are we calling this? I want to call it like the in between format. Like it's
No,
like
no, it has got the perfect name, and I will not relent on that.
okay.
Only bands, only
Wow.
bands.
100% agree.
Just remember, he just called me a dictator a couple minutes ago. You know, he almost said Donald Trump. I think at one point.
I I do not recall said interaction.
Kidding.
No, I will. We can community name whatever everything else. This one fits too well. Only bands. So the
Only
format is
bands.
regular award, 30 card deck, whatever. However, everything on the limited list is now banned. So no Holy Lights, Casey. No Wrath of the Old Ones, Harry.
Harry.
No, yeah, no. Anything that's limited, you can't use it. So basically, if you can use three in your deck, you can use it for this setting. And actually, the format kind of came to be. Casey and I were talking. He's like, we need a format where you can't use like Visitor and Holy Light, just like none of the recursion garbage. And I was like,
Recursion. Yeah.
it's like, oh, I don't want to limit like ban certain cards, but it's like, and then how do you say, well, if it touches a cemetery, you can't use it? I'm like, wait a minute, just ban everything on the limited list. That type pretty much takes care of the problem,
Mhm.
problem. It takes care of what we were trying to do, and I think it made kind of a fun format. So,
No, honestly,
but Harry,
I I misread it when you first posted it. I honestly I was like, oh, I thought you wanted it to only be bands, and I was like, Billy, you got to realize there's promo cards and then there's the limited list. I was like, there isn't really much to choose from. I was like, everyone's gonna have the same deck. That's what that was. I don't know. I was skimming
oh,
it,
that's
and
funny.
that was I know. So my brain was just like, that's why I made that post. I was just like, oh yeah, like it might seem repetitive right now, but as Ward continues, I like that would be a cool format though. Also, if Ward continued, you know, just to have like only bands, which I guess would have the same name, Billy, but then basically all you play with is like those like limited cards or banned cards. But obviously, you got to be a little sparing. Maybe no time dragon. I think, like you said, we've seen the shenanigans on that card. It's a little ridiculous, but I do like the format. I do like, so only bands is the name, and so I got to play with only bands. I ran my gnome deck. I know I keep preaching it. I've kind of fallen in love with the gnomes, at least for the fun gameplay time we're with it. I'm really playtesting with that deck, and I've been enjoying myself. But I did play against rank 1 Alec Kermit. I like to give him his title too. But, did end up beating him. He kind of played a wacky deck where it was literally just 3 creatures and they were all just wizards. So he had a total of 120 HP for his cemetery, for his creature count, I guess you could say. And yeah, it didn't go too well for him. Let's just say that. If you're trying to play only 3 creatures, you really got to think about how you're going to utilize your HP, I think. But it was a fun match. It was quick. It was probably on one of my quicker matches I've had in the league, because getting through 120 HP is not too difficult when you're playing with a lot of the good cards still. And posted my deck, and so what do you guys think about it? I think it'll be a good time. Maybe spoil what your decks are. This video will probably come out tomorrow. I don't know if you guys are both playing by then or not. So whoever wants it.
I'm excited to play it. I'm actually undecided right now. I have 3 decks that I made up. I'm not really sure which one I want to use.
Yeah. Well.
I was trying to play test against Billy to see which one I wanted to play but we haven't got to play yet. So if I wind up playing my match tomorrow, I'm just gonna have to wing it and pick one.
You're playing after the pod. Let's go.
I'll play it after the pod.
Sure.
What's the 3 options?
Sure.
That won't give it away, Casey. What are your 3? Do you have like themes to them, or is it just like different cards?
Yeah, it's different wild stuff. I had to describe one of them as kind of like a Angel Creator deck.
Ooh.
Another one is a Subject 4212 deck. The other one, I didn't really have I don't really know how to describe it. It's a mess of stuff.
You're kind of getting saucy though, because those aren't really decks that have like really been made or performed with, so that I've seen. I mean, I'm sure people do play with those cards, but obviously having creators and angels is not your common thing, and then having subject 22-4 definitely also. I mean, Pumpkin Man runs
22-12.
Or was it 22-12? What did I say? You know what I'm talking about? Big giant scary Pumpkin Man. I do really like his artwork. I think he's a really cool card too. But I think the Summer League, I see that Tommy's over there really trying to get that bottom. He keeps telling me he wants to win, but I don't know. He's definitely gonna get that last place award.
I almost feel like he's throwing games on purpose at this point.
Well, technically, he played Adam V, and I watched their game, and Adam V actually was running Billy, surprisingly enough. His deck had all the promos and everything. He was playing he called it like his limited deck, where it was just all limited cards. So it was all just promos, all the limited list, which is actually, I think, pretty valid. The only problem is Tommy was playing... the Blue Dragon. He had like stun. He had like all of his stun cards and stuff. So like, unfortunately, if you look at the limited list, there's very little destruction. It's just Dragon Rage is the only card that has destruction. So like, Adam was not really able to like remove the stun effects that was being played on his creature. But the way Tommy in theory lost was Adam, because he could put the Ward Bull card in his deck. He played Ward Bull, and Tommy said the first person to play it against him, he would automatically forfeit. So you might be right, Casey. I think he is throwing games just because he wants to. But I can't be at fault. If I seen the Ward Bull card, I'd probably forfeit too at that point.
I love it.
But like you said, the league it's the regular season, I guess, is winding down, right, Billy? We only got one more week, and then we're on to the playoffs.
We got this is week 7. The last week is week 8, and then we got the playoffs.
You getting exhausted yet from doing this for so long?
No, I like it. I like it a lot.
I, I think
I think it's fun.
I think you have like the perfect, you got like the perfect time frame in for it too, which is all like super nice. Is like that little like down spurt of no ward. I think this just felt like a perfect like, happy medium of like can play at least one game a week where it's like I'm not feeling like I can't get any ward in. So it was like, and then most people, like I said, there was like what, a couple draws. So like most people were able to kind of be able to play and get around it, even though it was during like the summer months where usually a lot of people aren't always available. And so like, yeah, going forward, I think if we can make sure we try to not maybe time it up with like whatever their big, the season is, like once we get closer to like another ward bowl, it's like we gotta maybe plan that out.
Well,
But I like having these
yeah.
season things.
I mean, the two things. The first Ward official hosted tournament is to crack back at ExcaliburCon, so that's kind of like the kickoff for the tournament season on the official, like the Ward hosted ones. The season's already started because the first one in California, but I mean,
And
in terms
Curious
of
Crow.
like the staff and the Curious Crow, yeah. But in terms of the staff, like throwing tournaments, I guess this is their kickoff, and we're winding down the summer league, so it makes sense.
Right.
Kind of a little bit overlap, and then the way it works, if you have to play a game every week, but if you can't play your game or it doesn't happen, it's just both players get a draw. Last week I had kind of the perfect opportunity for it. I mean, I was playing Michelle. I reached out and said, "Hey, when do you want to play our game?" And she says, "Okay, well, I'm out. I'm on vacation. We get back on Friday,
Hmm.
or no, we get back on Saturday." And I was like, "Okay, well, I'm out of town starting Thursday till Monday, so I guess we'll take a draw." And that was that. So,
That's
you
funny.
know,
Yeah, I was against Jeremy, which is Michelle's husband, and so yeah, it's pretty funny. Yeah, we actually did manage to get our game, but yeah, we had to wait till the weekend. He was like, "Yeah, we're not going to be back till the weekend," and I was like,
yeah,
"Hey, that's perfect. Works for my work and everything." But like you said, giving everyone a whole week of time to figure it out. Usually, like I said, it turns out pretty well, and people can find that time. And so yeah, I think.
yeah.
The funny thing or fun thing will be, Billy, whenever when we make the next league, I think it will be cool to see if we can get a bigger group of people, like how all that pans out, and just getting some new faces. I know there are a lot of people that I've seen in the Discord that are very interested in, and I've been doing my like follow Harry D through his summer league adventures thing, and a lot of people are happy to see that gameplay and to comment a lot about how all the different mechanics that they're seeing that they didn't realize that's how those things work. So I think it's doing, like I said, the whole point was to teach people, so I think it is doing a pretty good job of kind of convincing everybody. Yeah, but moving on from the summer league, like I said, good stuff. We're getting to the sweaty or at least I think they'll be sweaty, the playoffs, because then that's when everybody will start putting their bets on things, Billy. You know what I'm saying? We got to have the
Well, the playoff is to determine who gets the money and who doesn't. So
whoa, yeah.
six people enter, three people leave with cash. So
Heck yeah, it's gonna get
oh, and
crazy.
then
I'm hopefully everybody will get in the rooms and watch and have a good time with it. I do want to talk about a topic. Speaking of tournament ish talk, in I kind of want. I was ranting a little bit to Adam V. We talk a lot at work, and I was bringing up the fact about pack cracks and how they're starting to be kind of the common tournament at this moment in Ward, I would say, and I guess for me as like a pretty competitive player, if I could have my perfect world, I'd want to have like actual build your own deck tournaments in Ward. And so like I kind of got on this rant. I was kind of going like, hey, it's like I understand pack cracks. I like how involved new players can get. It's a pretty good experience for a lot of people to just like not be so intimidated to play. But I do I did, it comes to my attention that it was like we also want to have these build your own decks, right? It's like, Casey, you build up a very big collection of cards. Billy has a big collection of cards to play this game. I have also, we've all given our time and our commitment to collect all these cards for the high level of competitive play. And so it's like I do feel like I get a little restless and a little concerned about like having tournaments that aren't bring your own deck. But I do understand. I mean, I know on a past episode I preached a little bit about how I really like the pack cracks, and I do. I'm not saying I don't like pack cracks, but I do get a little worried how many they have, and so I was kind of curious, and I want to toss that idea. How do you guys feel about the tournament scenes and like having these official tournaments be crack pack, or what would you kind of prefer? I guess maybe with you, Casey.
Yeah, I like both of them actually. I am with you in, liking to, show up with my constructed decks with all of my cards, like, the big powerful stuff you could say. Um, but like at like the cons, like, coming up this weekend at a con, I think maybe a pack crack at something like that might be more appropriate for that setting because you're having new players walk through the door and look at the
Right.
ward booth and being curious and coming up and be like, what is this?
Mm.
So and if they're like, oh, we're starting a tournament where you as a beginner can sit down and play and be on an equal playing field with someone who's been playing for a long time, that's a big turn on for the game actually. And that was my first experience with the tournament. Is I started Ward, and like literally 10 days later I showed up at the Liedrich tournament because it was a pack crack tournament. I'm like, that's perfect because I'm brand new. I don't know what's going on with this game, everything that's going on in this game right now, and it's going to put me on an equal playing field with somebody who's been playing already
Right.
for, a year or two. So it was a big factor in me showing up to the tournament, like the biggest factor. So at new settings like that, at like cons or whatever, I think it's great. But yeah, somewhere else, just host it at a card shop or something like that. I'd love to just be standard format and bring my big powerful stuff and play with all my cards.
Well, like you said, it's like the whole reason you collect. It's like, oh, I do want to eventually be able to play with my cards, and that's where, like I said, it does get a little like, hey, like when I was just hoping they would by this point have another tournament kind of like posted that's like, here, this is a deck build tournament, or like you said, if there's another con, obviously, yeah, I think you make a good point about the cons with like having those be pack cracks, as you said, like you're expected to have more new players come into those kind of events. What do you think, Billy? I'll let you get your take in on the tournament stuff.
Well, you want a constructed tournament? I got great news. Saturday at Curious Crow. Come on down. We got a constructed bring your own deck tournament. It is right there ready for you to play. I know you're not going. But um no, Casey's 100% right. The con is not only appropriate to do crackbacks, it is the best place to do crackbacks. Because you're going to have new players. Harry, you showed up last year to Team ExcaliburCon or whatever.
Mm.
You hadn't played the game. You want to show up and then someone rolls in with a 29 legendary deck and says, like, no, you don't want that. You want to play with like an equal playing field. Also, it's a different game mode. Now, what's my preference? I like constructed tournaments. I like to play my big fun cards. I like to play my deck full of foils. I like to do the fun stuff. I like to do the stuff where I get to like prepare ahead of time and the preparing for the game within the game. But it has its place, and I think it's perfectly fine as we're winding up the tournament season that it's all crackbacks to start with. But I'll be playing a constructed deck on Saturday. Curious Grove, you're free to join me, or you can go play the crack pack.
There we go.
Sounds like you want to do the crack pack.
Yeah, okay.
Well,
Well, there's the
another
shout out for
one.
there's the shout out for the Curious Crow. Let's just fit it in there. Yeah. So like Billy's saying, even though ExcaliburCon is also this weekend, so they're kind of layered on top of each other. If you are in that area and maybe you're closer to Curious Crow in the city or in Minneapolis, you should definitely. Well, it's not really where exactly. I guess what would be. Do you
No,
know?
it's Minneapolis. I mean,
Is it
it's
just
15 minutes north of
15
Detroit
minutes,
City,
yeah,
so
of Minneapolis? So yeah, so if you're near the Minneapolis area, if I can even say that word,
six Twin Cities.
yeah, then come around, come down and definitely play at the Curious Crow and get on the, again, it is official, so get on those ratings. But back to just
Come
like
I
beat
got
me.
what's that?
I got one more thing for it. I got one more thing
Okay.
for it too. As I like the cons too. That we just did the range fan con there in Virginia, and it was a boss battle thing. So, but so many people showed up for it. We split the party into two
Yeah.
so we could, play the game in a timely fashion. So, at the upcoming con in Duluth, or future ones, you could say, because I know it won't happen at this one, but at future cons, um, the ward staff could actually offer both tournaments at the same time. They'll say
Right.
we can run a constructed pod, and we can also run a crack pack pod. So that way, us player, that we know a handful of us might show up. We could show up and play standard format and get to use our big powerful cards, and then they'll still have a pod for all the new people coming in. Like as soon as they get like 8 entries, they could start a tournament, and I'm sure
Right.
it'd fill up pretty fast. So you
Yeah.
could run both.
No, and like you said, I think that would be the ultimate goal is just like have as much ward as possible. And I'm sure the ward staff, once they get a little more comfortable of getting all these things, that is the thing they're kind of scaling up and building up these things. So it's like once they can get maybe like more referees or whatever, like you said, it may make it a little bit easier for them to have those things split up and have two pods that they're watching. Because like you said, it is a lot of work, especially when you're also trying to bring in new people at the con. It's like they are a staff of 5, and so it's like they have some people to spread out, but like at the same time, that would be a lot to put on 2 tournaments and also run the booth to try to get new players into the door. But like you said, I think that would be the ultimate goal, right? At some point, I think that should be the case. Have a lot of constructive tournaments, especially the more it spreads out across the United States, and have a lot of pack cracks for, like you said. I also think like with local stores that are getting new into Ward, that's the best thing. Nobody in your area has Ward, right? So it's like, here we go. Here's an event. Everybody just has to buy a pack. And everybody gets to play. And so it's like, I totally see why that would be like a good format for a lot of like new people getting into the game, which I think is kind of where Ward's at the moment. And so that's why I'm not too upset with the pack cracks at this moment, even though like, personally, again, I would say I am someone who likes to play, like Billy was saying, like a constructive deck. It's just nice to actually put like your brain power to like work and be like, here, these are all the things I need. You do kind of get that in a crack pack with like picking out the 5 cards, but you're kind of given what you got, and then you got to work with what you got. So it's like,
Okay,
I don't
but
know.
the Lexington, no, I'm sorry. The Ledric Studios crackback was extremely unique, and I think you had to use quite a bit of your brain for that one, because
Yeah.
that format was you get your initial cards, and then each round you can buy another booster and switch your deck up. That's fun. I like that a lot.
And
Yeah.
do you think if they were to pick like a crack pack format, like maybe that would be like a best way to go about it?
I don't know about best, but I mean it's fun to mix it in.
Yeah, I just think, like you said, like for competitive players, I mean, it's exciting for them, and for people who just want to play and also get more cards in their collection. I think that the way that they, did that format was definitely interesting because, like you said, you just kept buying boosters, right? And then it was like, okay, after I win my match, I'm allowed to buy another booster, and now I can flip out my cards. Yeah, I think that was a really cool experience, and I think as Ward goes on, they definitely need to throw more crack pack tournaments like that because I wasn't able to attend, but they did live stream it from Ledric Studio, and I was able to watch, and it looked like everybody was having a really great time. Some people's faces get a little like, oh, when they see someone else pull something big, and most people are getting excited. You want to get excited for everybody, but you also are like, well, now I'm going up against this in that deck and stuff. So yeah, I agree. I don't know. Like I said, with the format stuff, I like it. I just hope that we don't just continue doing crack packs as like you were saying, Billy. Like the further we get in, I hope they kind of like slowly switch over to more of the constructive decks, because then those players will get to actually build their own decks too that got in when at the beginning of this year. So, but yeah, that's just kind of my take. And like I said, I was just ranting a little bit about it, but I wanted to get your guys' thoughts on it too. With that though, we got the ExcaliburCon we need to promote. It is this weekend too. Like Billy said, Curious Crow has a tournament on too, so go to that if you can. But if you aren't going to that, definitely be going to ExcaliburCon. Me and KC, Billy, we're talking on the last episode a lot about ExcaliburCon. Obviously about the new card or the promo card that a lot of people in the Discord are a little upset about that they might not be able to get their hands
Upset.
on.
Who's upset about it?
Well, there's just some people that are not upset, but they were just like, oh, there's like that's too far away. Like, I can't, like they really want to get the card. I wouldn't say that they're so much upset, right? But they just want to have the card.
Oh no! A trading card game introduced a card you get the trade to get.
Yeah. Well, like you said,
You can't have every card. You can trade for every card though.
That's fair. I like that take a lot. But like you said, I'm excited to be going again. I'm going both days, so it's this weekend. I'm gonna be there Saturday, Sunday, so I'll be helping out people, hanging out with all the new people, so they'll get to have the WWB experience. Billy's coming on Sunday because you'll be at the Saturday tournament at the Curious Crow, and then Sunday at Excalibur. So we'll both be there. KC, I'm sure, as the epic whale himself, he will be there with, I'm sure, a lot of his epicness and all of his cards. I'm sure a lot of new players, if they're getting in, they're definitely going to want to maybe stop and see KC because he's probably got what they need.
Probably.
Yep, very much so.
Are you excited for it?
Absolutely, yeah.
Anything you're looking forward to with it? I mean, did you go to TeamCon last year, Casey, or no? Have you?
I wasn't playing then, no.
Oh, well, I mean, they have they have like Magic tournament. They have like tons of different tournaments and different card games and just fantasy things in general. So, but.
Yeah, but no, I've never been to that con before.
Oh, it's kind of funny because at TeamCon, to do a funny story, I went to a draft Magic tournament there. It was actually why I was at TeamCon to begin with, because I had Tyler and our buddy Nelson, who also are in Ward, and then we were playing with some other Magic friends, and I took second in that, and it was just like modern. It was Event Horizon or something Horizon. I'm sure you'd probably know better than me. I honestly didn't know what I was doing. I was just picking cards and playing. But then we stopped by and seen the Ward booth and we were like, oh, like it's a new card game, and Tyler was really pushing it for us to play. So that is how we discovered Ward. And got into it for sure. So this con kind of has a little bit of a happy place in my heart because it is kind of the start to my my Ward journey. So what were you gonna say, Billy? I think you had something.
Yeah. What was I gonna say? I don't remember. Oh yeah, I do remember what I was gonna say. You heard it here first. Harry's going both days, which means he's getting 2 promo cards, so he will have one to trade. I don't know if that's how it works. But
I don't know if it's how it works.
I mean, if you get 2,
I'm gonna try to get 2.
One trade.
Don't you worry. We'll get our hands on as many copies of that card as we can.
I'm gonna run over to my local school and bring the kindergarten class so I get like 15 copies.
Just pay for their ticket.
Charity event. Yeah, charity event. I need all the cards I can get. Jeez. No, that's funny. What was I going to say now? No, I'm getting cut off. Oh, well, like you said, Billy, I think hopefully, too, I mean, with the way that Gen Con went and they were giving out, boss battle promos, I mean, there's definitely a couple that I would like to get my hands on still that I didn't. So I hope that's also in the cards to play against the Ward staff. That is the caveat. You do have to beat the Ward staff, and then they usually are pretty nice about handing out their promos.
Oh, no, I have to beat Tommy. When's the last time he won?
Oh, jeez. All right, yeah, Tommy, hear that? Now you just cursed yourself,
Ouch.
Billy. No, Tommy, you're gonna come in there and he's gonna have big old frowny eyebrows. He's all pissed and he's gonna whoop your butt. You ain't get no promos.
Yeah, we'll see.
But anyway, that should be a lot of fun. Like I said, Pack Crack tournament. Casey was bringing up that there will be on Saturday. Again, if you're making it out there, definitely get into the tournament. I mean, if you pay for a ticket, you basically have access to it. I think even if you do the Saturday tournament or Saturday pass for just ExcaliburCon, you will still be able to enter tournaments and stuff. So I don't know if you haven't bought tickets yet, buy those tickets because you only got a couple more days left. But I'm sure you could even probably walk in the door. I don't think they usually sell out. So, but I would say get them now because maybe I can't. I'm not guaranteeing that. I'm disclaimer that was not a guarantee that there will be tickets at the door. So definitely, if you got a couple days left, get those tickets in and meet all of us at ExcaliburCon. And yeah, if you want pictures with the WWB crew, we're definitely gonna be chilling there for
You
sure.
do not
So.
want a picture.
Oh, come on, Billy. Have you seen the pictures? You're so photogenic. But don't let Billy fool you guys. I have a lot of good pictures of Billy. Yeah, he's like I don't know how I feel about that. Yeah, you're a photogenic guy, Billy. It's all good. But yeah, no, that's definitely what I'm excited for, at least for the coming up. Like I said, I haven't had a tournament in since Board Bowl, so it's been a hot minute before I've played in a Ward tournament. So I'm definitely excited to have that
Completely
feeling.
ignores the summer league.
That's
Right?
not a tournament. That's a league.
It's not a tournament.
That's for fun. This is where I'm actually getting my sweat
Oh, my
on.
bad. I didn't know tournaments weren't for fun. My bad.
Right?
It's all for fun, but I do.
No, Harry wants to sweat.
Yeah, hey, I'm telling you, I am the villain. I am the antagonist. I want everyone to fear me when I come in, and everyone's gonna be like, I need to beat that guy. So yeah, that there we go. That, like I said, I'm on my dark era, Billy. What do you want from me? But no,
I want you to
other
move
than
on.
that, do you guys have anything else that maybe you want to share on the pod? Throwing it up. Any topics that are on your mind? Thoughts that you got? KC?
I had something. What the heck was it?
Mm.
I forget what it was. I thought of something great
Oh,
just the other day, and I forgot about it.
no,
Now that you put me in the hot seat, I can't think of
put you
it.
put you on the spot. I apologize. No, with that. I guess for me it's like I said. I'm excited for again the tournament scene. Billy, I wish I could make it to Curious Crow. I literally have like 2 decks that I've built that I've just been like waiting for a constructive tournament. I've been talking to my local card shop to Globe, and like I said, speaking of those constructive tournaments, I definitely want to get them potentially a tournament going at the Globe too. So hopefully a lot of other stores we'll start doing these tournament and getting like pack cracks going. I know I've talked to some guys in the Discord. There's a guy on the East Coast, and he was saying that he's been talking to his LSG and trying to get them to get. He just wanted to have like a fun like game ward like sessions going. But I told him, I was like, well, if you reach out to the ward staff, and every LSG can do this. Reach out if you got a big enough community. You feel like I think you have to have 8 people to throw on a tournament, Billy, as like the number 6. All right, he's saying 6. Billy's not talking on a podcast. Is saying six people in order to have to basically throw on their own tournament. And I would say probably do a pack crack tournament if you are pushing for your local store owner to do it, because I think it's a little better if you're getting these new people in your area joining that they like we were just talking about. Casey kind of brought it up, like you don't want them to be too intimidated. You want them to feel like they can just come in, play these things. So if anybody wants to throw on an official ward tournament, like I said, just reach out to the ward staff. They'd be happy, I'm sure, to have you guys throw these tournaments and get more people in the rankings, and like have everybody working towards these things. Because as we were just talking about ExcaliburCon, not everybody can make it to certain areas, in the United States at this moment. So it's like I want to make sure everyone has as many opportunities as they can to have have these tournaments available to them. So again, if your card store has Ward now and they're selling it and you got a group of people, get a tournament going, and definitely shout it out in the Discord because we'd all love to hear about it. How about you, Billy? What do you got? I'm sure you got something. What's a thought?
Well, my thought, I don't know if it's more of a thought, but Summer League was a lot of fun. We played some different formats, and I was just spoil it. I mean, next week's a regular week format. We're done with the funny formats. So we played a couple formats. Just wanted to get your takes on what did you like the best, or what kind of format maybe you want to see in a new summer league, not a summer league, whenever we do the next league, I don't know what it'll be, but
Do you think, I mean, Tommy is in our league. Do you think the Ward staff, do you think they might take some of those formats and maybe potentially make them into tournaments? Obviously, chaos mode, we're not doing that. I'm going to put my feet down. No chaos mode.
play with Time Dragon, though.
Tommy, Marty, Joe, Q, whoever's listening, John, no, we're not. No chaos format. If you ever do, we're going to have a serious intervention. We're gonna talk about this. But hey, all the other formats, I mean, we have the average Joe format now, which I think, honestly, that would be a pretty cool, official tournament to have. I think, like you said, things where people do have to kind of like adjust their play style too, I think are definitely something that we could be looking forward to. So just to answer your question, Billy, coming back to the Summer League, I think you've made a lot of good, what should I say, like thoughtful formats that the Ward staff could potentially take ideas from. I'm not saying they have to copy what you did exactly, but I think just the fact that you're giving these ideas to people, I think it'll definitely there's a good chance that in the future there will be other tournaments, or just our league too will have different formats for everybody to kind of try and have fun with, and kind of keep Ward a little fresh. Just like I said, a lot of new players are getting in, and some of us have played a little bit more than Ward than others. So it's good to get a little bit of a change up. What do you think, Casey?
Yeah, it's yeah. I mean, it's excellent. It's just all that stuff is like a lot of fun. Yeah, it's just that's all I can really say about it. You guys kind of covered everything. I mean, I agree with everything that you said about it.
Do you have a spicy format, Casey, that maybe you're thinking of that would be different from what we've already kind of played or tested?
Yeah, I got up one. I discussed it with Billy a little while ago. Just a format that I wanted to call like best of 10. So you're only allowed to use 10 cards in your deck, and you have to play 3 copies of every one of them.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness! And then you
like
play
that.
10 games?
Just one game. Just,
Okay.
The best 10.
I feel like the name might get a little confusing for people. They're just like, we're gonna play a best of 10. It's just like, oh, what? I ain't playing 10.
So maybe the name needs some working, but the idea is there.
No, the idea is really cool. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to make a joke of it, but I was just, when you said the name, I was just like, I'm not sure where we're going with best of 10, but no, that is a really cool idea, like you said. And so then it's like you said, you have 10 cards in your deck. So what? You would have 3 copies of 3 cards, and then what? Just like one, and then you just get to have 1 card.
I don't know. Oh, 3. Yeah, you only can play 10 different cards in your deck.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying.
Everything's
okay.
a playset.
No, this is actually awesome because this is we actually did do this on the podcast. I don't know if you remember, Billy, but we all three, me, you, and Tyler, all made. I can't remember what exactly the name I called it. I think I just said it was like threes, something threes, set of threes or something like that. But anyway, you were only able to pick copies of 3 cards, and then you had to run 3 copies of the card. So I think that format would be really, really cool.
Which is interesting because it is very close to only bans.
It is,
because it's a more restrictive only bans, because that saying I can only run sets of 3 means you can't use anything on the limited list, right? So it's a little more restrictive, and I think it'd be fun. The worms in my brain are telling me that Casey is suggesting this because he has the Gen 1 450, and he's about to get the Gen 2 450, so he wants it to be an official tournament style, so he can come in and be like, behold, peasants, my triple creator and triple undead king deck is here to stomp your ass. So that's my tinfoil hat theory. But
no, that's awesome. For me, I think we did play a singleton for one of the official tournaments for just the Gen 2 only a little bit a while ago at like the Lock in Duluth, and I thought that I think Singleton is definitely something that Ward can thrive with a lot in that format. Just the fact that like a lot of creatures you don't usually want more than one copy of to begin with, and so I think it definitely makes a lot more cool deck ideas where you're only given one copy of every card, right? And then it's like to work with kind of on the opposite end of your best of 10. It's like the reverse of it, right? It's like having only one copy of every card in your deck. Obviously, like, there are a lot of limited cards that a lot of people are going to use, but at the same time, I think there's definitely a lot of different deck ideas, and obviously some decks get stronger because of that format too. So what do you think about Singleton?
Yeah, anything that makes the birds incredibly dumb. Yeah, I'm for that.
What do you mean the birds just don't get to play in that format? One harpy.
That's
and
right.
one
Yeah.
I'll still play with one Alkanos, one harpy.
Yeah, you do that, buddy.
Oh, I will.
All right, I got a thing for you here that maybe we could do once in a while on the show is, give a little knowledge to maybe some new players that are watching, or even people that haven't thought of something yet. Is what is one of your favorite card combos, and maybe explain how it works and why you like it.
Ooh, I kind of like that. So
I like that.
By combo.
All right, if I want to give you a second to think about it, I can start with mine.
Yeah, that's right. Fine. All right, you go.
All right, one thing I've only actually got to do it once in a game, so I kind of really want to build more of a deck around it now because it worked really well. Is Time Weaver and Dragon Power. So the reason I like it is it brings her right to AL12, so she's tough to hit, and just her inherent ability of not being able to play instants means that your combat damage is not getting negated. You're pretty much guaranteed getting that hit in. Takes her modifier to a 10, so you're guaranteed you're hitting them unless you crit fail, and she gets plus 15 to her damage on top of 2 dice. So comes across as a pretty solid hit, and you're guaranteed hitting.
Honestly, not something I've put a lot of thought into, but yeah, you do. Time Weaver definitely, I think, like as time goes on, no pun intended. She's definitely gonna. Yeah, I think she might see a lot of space depending on like even when Gen 3 comes in. If there's enough good strong cards that like you just want to make sure your opponent can't play like spells against you, like you said, back to just this comboing aspect. It's like if there's a lot of comboing in Gen 3. Yeah, Time Weaver might be a card that just kind of gives you that inherent protection from people to stop you. So yeah, I thought that's a crazy. I was not expecting you to say something like that. So yeah, Time Weaver, Dragon Power. Everybody go try it out.
If you manage to throw a backstab in there, pretty insane. A hit you're not stopping. You're probably going down.
I like that a lot. All right, Billy.
And you're outspeeding.
Oh, can't hear me? Hello?
Yeah. I hear you just fine.
Oh.
You're good.
What the? Well, all right. Thought you said I wasn't speaking for a second there. Billy, what about you? What's your crazy combo that you like to do?
I'll just... It's not... I don't know if it's a combo because Dragon Power Time Weaver is 2 cards together go well together.
Usually just 2 cards.
I think... Okay, so if we're gonna gear this towards like maybe the newer players, one of my favorite card combos is Scroll of Silence and literally any other Magic card. You got a card in your hand you want to play. You're worried they're gonna negate you. Just hold the Scroll of Silence. It's that easy. You either play it and they say it plays, and you're like, awesome. Or you play it and they say, I don't think so. Here's a Play in the Dark. And you're going to say, screw you, buddy. Here's a Scroll of Silence.
I expected nothing less from Billy. I had a thought that was going to be his combo. So there you go.
Yeah, why wouldn't it?
There you go, everybody. Billy's combo is just have Scroll of Silence in your deck.
Just have Scroll of Silence. Also, it's an elite... It's an Elite 8 card, so it's guaranteed to be good, right?
Yeah, there you go. It is the Elite 8. It definitely fits in the category. All right, fine, Billy. I'll let you have that. My brain, like I said, I'm on the gnomes, and so will be a little bit of a niche one, but Magic Artillery plus Hourglass of Time. So if you manage to get 3 Magic Artilleries on the field, and let's just say any of them, so the way the effect of Magic Artillery works is if you roll a 1, it destroys itself, or at the beginning of your turn, you roll a die, and if it's a 1, it just destroys itself, and then if it's a 6, your opponent has to discard a magic card. So it's kind of a goofy mechanic. Why the card is that way? I've talked to Joe, and he says that because gnomes don't build things very well, and so that's there you go. That's the reason why the card is that way. So most people when they see that card, most people when they see Magic Artillery, it's like, oh, it just destroyed. Like they're like, oh, this card's not that great. It has a chance to just blow up itself, and it's like, yes, it does. But if you pair it with a card called Hourglass of Time, which resets the whole turn, you get to roll all those dice. If any blow up, you get to reset them so they don't blow up, and you get to try it again. and basically, if you have multiple hourglasses, you're probably gonna at some point hit 6s and not blow up your stuff, and so you get more value out of those Magic Artilleries. There you go. There's a fun little combo for people, especially since they're both like rare cards, so they're not that hard to get your hands on. So if you want to try this in your real decks, put some Magic Artilleries and some Hourglass of Times and have some fun with those.
And meanwhile, the whale says, "You need an epic and a legendary for my combo."
Hey, not every combos are treated the same. What can you say, man? He's a classy guy. He isn't an epic whale for no reason.
Yeah, he only plays with foils.
Heck yeah. No, Casey, like I said, I really like that combo topic. I'll be bringing that up again in the future because I think there's a lot of combos that honestly exist that are the 2 card combos. So that's a really good one. So and it already
should just be our closing segment every time, every episode.
Anytime you're on, we'll do a closing combo segment. All right, I like it. And
Absolutely,
I think just saying a card combo is probably a good name for the segment too, huh? Look at that, Casey. Yep. You're adding value to the podcast. We appreciate that. But here, speaking of segments, we're gonna get on to our last one. Our final thoughts, Final thoughts, if I can talk. Like I said, I like to give everybody that space to kind of give. It doesn't always have to be super big on like the things we talked about. It can just be like, hey, like what are your thoughts on Ward? Maybe there's a Gen 3 card. Speaking of Gen 3 card, weird Bunnysaurus Mewtwo Lizard Man thing. People were seeing that. I don't know. My brain just shouts Mewtwo. I played a lot of Smash Bros when I was younger, and Mewtwo was always one of those. You don't
think it's like a dino?
It is, but it's
might just be an evolved Bunnysaurus.
Yeah, I mean, it could be. See, there's who knows what it is. Definitely a cool spoiler. So if anyone has seen it, I think it was in one of the Facebook like trailer or ads or whatever. Like you said, the Ward staff love to put their Easter eggs in and get us all fired up about it. So yeah, anything they want to show us, of Gen 3, I'm definitely excited to get to look at that. But yeah. Why don't we all just take a shot? What do you think its effect's going to be? I feel like Casey is already on Bunnysaurus, kind of. But what do you think? It looks like it might be like a cosmic being of some sort, or just like a lizard person.
It's just going to be a stronger Bunnysaurus. Instead of that one-time effect, you're going to either roll a dice to negate a magic card, or roll a dice. Roll a dice for the other.
Maybe I don't know. I feel like. What if they just give it more stats, and then it's just a Bunnysaurus with more stats, so it's actually kind of threatening, and so you can't just like easily beat it down, and then it still has the effect of Bunnysaurus.
What do you mean actually kind of threatening? Bunnysaurus is all kind of threatening.
All right, Billy, you're 1-3, 40 HP, like 6 speed or whatever the hell that thing is.
Hell yeah. Get hopped, idiot.
Well, I don't know. We have Evolved Dino. Do any other dinos even have effects? Spino has an effect. So it's like, hopefully, I don't know. It doesn't look like it's gonna be a vanilla creature, but it could just be like a vanilla creature too. But I don't know. The dinos don't really have their own effects yet. If you know what I mean, they don't have their own like class. So I guess
here's one for it. maybe okay. So I was kind of thinking like, maybe it's kind of tied to Evolved Dino. So like, what if it's like roll a die before every attack? If it's a 2x times cosmic creatures. If it's a 2x times beast creatures. If it's a 2x
Oh,
times, and then it just has a
yeah.
list of like, you roll a die and you might 2x them. I don't know.
That's fair. I was thinking, would this be a cool idea too? Kind of on your vein of double damage. What if Dino creatures, if you use cards like Ambush or like any like just like Flash, or maybe it won't be Flash. I was just thinking like Ambush. What if it does like double damage when it's summoned with like Ambush or something? I think that'd be kind of cool. Like anytime it's summoned by Ambush.
Well, yeah, but ambush makes your card brings out a limited summon. And limited summons don't have effects. So
Yeah. Well,
maybe
what I'm saying is, so this would be your primary creature, but then if you play Ambush and you bring out another creature, that card does double. So it's
ooh,
like
or
it gets like that tag team kind of thing. I think that'd be kind of cool.
or yeah, I kind of like that. Or like if ambush is played,
Mm-hmm.
then because it could be either opponent, and then all
Ooh,
of a
I like
sudden
that too.
they
So
play
that's a
ambush. It's like,
counterplay.
oh, I don't know if I want to attack with my primary.
Oh, I like that. And
That'd be
then
kind of cool.
or yeah, I like that a lot. Or it gets like double hit or some kind of cool effect if you play ambush. I just think it's cool to get some of those cards that already exist and then have cards that maybe like we were just talking about combo cards that kind of just like inherently kind of go with those decks. I think that'd be kind of cool. What do you think, Casey?
Uh,
What?
Yeah, doesn't Claws of the Beast combos with something else? Wings of the Beast, doesn't
Yeah,
it?
Wings of the
and
Beast.
claws.
Yeah, you get
Pretty.
more. Yep, you get more dice if you have. So yeah, if you have something and play ambush, you could get more of a boost. Yeah.
Ooh.
Hey, but wait, what if it's the card's name is just the Beast, and its effect is if Claws of the Beast or Wings of the Beast is played, this card does double damage. So like it
There
gets
you
Oh.
like
go.
that's the Beast. I don't know.
Or
Just
just
throwing
gets or
crap
just
out there.
gets or if you put Wings of the Beast, it just gets also the Claws of the Beast effect if it is the Beast. Ooh. Imagine
There
just
you
a
go.
Beast deck. That'd be cool. As long as they don't make him look like the X-Men Beast or whatever, the Beast. That's probably the best.
Oh yeah.
And none of that Beauty and the Beast stuff either. He's got to have his own look. I know how they kind of like to
Yeah,
I know they like to take some stuff some I don't want.
he definitely doesn't look like a beast, so that's probably not it. But it'd be
No, not
cool.
him. But I thought you were just bringing up like a beast character. He's just called the Beast.
A beast. I mean, I like that. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, no, for sure. I think there's definitely space for him. Like I said, implementing cards that already exist with cards that could be in the future, I think is always just a fun thought process. And be like, here, how can we make these cards that maybe don't seem like good enough have more of a place, and be kind of become stronger. A card that I feel is like very underrated, at least from what I've seen, is Melt Armor. I remember when I first started playing in Gen 2, I also pulled a ton of Melt Armors. Speaking of epic cards, and I don't know. How do you guys feel about Melt Armor? I always thought it was like a really good card when I first started because I was like, ooh, like just how he's having the like dice increase if the creature's bigger. But obviously, as you tend to see, like there isn't always that many bigger creatures that you get that much value with it. What's your thought with Melt Armor? I guess I want to throw that out there too while we were talking.
It's sort of a, I guess you could say the budget player's creator's gift in a way.
Mm-hmm.
It is.
I mean, it can still. The thing's still fantastic at dealing out a hard blow against those higher armored creatures. So
Yeah, it
it
kind of goes.
certainly helps.
It kind of goes in those decks where it's like you almost like kind of like God Killer Brox, where it's like you want to give your opponent armor on AL on their creature and then like get more value with it. But yeah, I don't know. Like I said, it's in a spot where it's like it needs more cards to like really make it like be good. So it's like I don't know. In itself isn't great.
It's a candidate to fight against the bosses with.
Yeah, I do agree.
Absolutely.
If you do have your hands on some Melt Armor, I think but most bosses you basically do get value no matter what from it, right? So it's like, yeah, I do like that a lot. I think that is a good shout out, Billy. We don't always think in the boss realm. I will admit I'm definitely more of the competitive side. But yeah, thinking about how you could utilize it with the bosses, I think that would be a cool event too, Billy. When you're talking about the summer league or a league, maybe we just have like a boss battle league too. Or I don't know how you do that with Untapped though. That's the problem. But to have like a boss fight with everybody involved in there, I think that'd be pretty fun.
Be a little tough.
We could figure it out. Eventually it'll it's in the we'll figure it out when they make their own app. I feel like the Ward staff might eventually make their own app for playing online instead of using Untapped, which is probably further down the line, but I think that'd be kind of a cool. Hopefully they put in a boss section for it for everybody who plays boss battles. But anyway,
well, I'll tell you what. I want them to release Gen 3 before we start getting fancy with some of the other online boss stuff. So,
100%.
or apps or anything like that.
I think Gen 3 is definitely on the horizon here. I think we're definitely gonna get to it sooner than it feels like. It feels like we've been waiting a while. But anything else for you, Casey, or I think we might wrap it up.
Yeah. No, I got nothing else.
All right. Well, with that, guys, episode 26 of WWB. Like I said, we're going strong. If you have any, comments, I know we touched a lot of topics. If you want to go in the comments and like and subscribe, I need to make sure I'm shouting that out more. And then, yeah, in the comments, if you have thoughts about, just what kind of tournaments you like, what's that Gen 3 cards effect. That little teaser. Maybe that card won't even be in Gen 3. They're just baiting us, and we all think that that's just a card, and then they're just like, nope. Yeah, they're just like, get wrecked, kids. I mean, that's the thing. The power's all in their hands. We're all just like, yeah, anything. But yeah,
it's gonna have the most generic name ever. It's just gonna be Pink Dinosaur.
Yeah, I know. Vanilla pink dinosaur. But all right, guys, everyone, we'll see you next week. Have a good one.
Peace.